So good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Today you'll need a strap or a belt, a block, and then of course, maybe a blanket to sit on. And go ahead and find a comfortable seat and wiggle yourself into that comfortable seat. And let your hands rest on your thighs, your palms turn up, and then just kind of gently pulling your elbows underneath your shoulders. Look for that open chest. Maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable, and just begin to take notice of where you are today. Notice where you are physically today. Maybe emotionally as well. And then just coming into your breath, right? Those full deep inhales and full deep exhales. And then allowing your eyes to blink open, go ahead and reach for your strap if you have one and just make a loop. If you don't have a strap and you have a belt or a towel or a necktie, that's fine too, right? You'll just loop that around your foot. Go ahead and take that loop around the right foot. Bring it just right up there to the arch of the foot, keeping maybe the left knee bent, especially if your low back is bothering you, or maybe extending that left leg long if it's not. Just begin to kind of find a little bit of a press here, a press into the heel. You have that nice long strap. You might be able to play a little bit here, kind of finding your grip on the strap, bringing maybe a thumb to the top thumb to the pinky, and then kind of stretching and reaching, extending overhead. Right? Notice here if your sacrum wants to lift up off the floor, if your seat wants to lift up off the floor, and if it does, go ahead and try and press it back down. Keep that foot pressing away. And feel that nice stretch through the calf, through the hamstring. Oh, there goes the kitty. Take a full breath in, take a full deep breath out. And then readjusting, maybe just letting, if you have a short strap, you're just gonna kind of begin to let that right leg fall out to the right. Otherwise, you may wanna kind of loop that strap underneath the left, holding onto it with the left hand and letting the right leg fall out to the right. Keep the foot active. Keep pressing away, pressing the heel away, finding that length, finding that nice stretch this beautiful day, morning, evening, afternoon. A full breath in and a full breath out. And then inhale that leg back up to center. Go ahead and release the strap. Hold on to the strap. And then maybe one last reach overhead if that's the kind of strap you have. Or maybe just allowing the leg to get heavy, the thigh to get heavy into the hip here, right? And then as you exhale, release. And reverse, bringing the strap now onto the ball mount of the left foot. And again, just still pressing the left heel up to the ceiling, right knee bent, sole of the foot on the floor, or maybe extended long. And if it works for you, you can kind of get a hold of that strap so you can start to let the arms reach overhead. That depends on what kind of strap you have again. Your other option might just be to let that leg get heavy and rooted into the hip. Here again, maybe you'll begin to start to find that opening. Maybe a full breath in and a full deep breath out. And then maybe feeding the strap underneath your head, or maybe reaching for the strap with your left hand. Let that left leg fall out to the left. That right arm extends long out to the right side. See if you can keep your hips square up to the sky, up to the ceiling, wherever you are. Keeping the foot active, the heel pressing away, just always looking for that stretch along the back seam of the left leg. Maybe imagining the left thigh even pressing to the pressing away from you. On your next breath in, that leg lifts up and overhead. And again, maybe if you want to find a little bit of a deeper stretch, again, maybe you'll kind of reach your hands onto that strap and let your hands slide up and overhead. Or maybe you'll just kind of root down, kind of holding onto that strap with both hands and letting your shoulders release into the floor. As you exhale, release that leg, release the strap. And give yourself a few rocks and a few rolls, right? Maybe pausing at the seat and making your way around and into a table. Wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers wide. Reach for a block. Go ahead and slide that block between your legs, between your thighs, right? So start to hug into that block. As you exhale, you'll find a cat pose. As you inhale, you'll sink into a cow pose. And you're going to move with your own breath here. So a few rounds here, whatever that looks like for you, but maintaining that hug into the block. As you exhale, round. As you inhale, sink your belly. And then walking your hands, maybe a handprint forward, curling your toes under and pressing your hips up and back. Make your way into downward facing dog, keeping that block between your thighs. Keep that nice big hug in here. So you can hug in and maybe pedal the feet a little bit, or more than likely you hug in and big bend in the knees, right? Shins parallel to the mat. Press your hands away, your spine gets long, and then slowly start to straighten into the legs. Once again, just stretching in to the backs of the legs. And then go ahead and lower your knees to your mat, back into a table. And then looking forward. Extend that right leg. I was wrong. In downward facing dog, extend the right leg long behind you. Look forward, step forward, find a low lunge, dropping that left knee to the mat. And then inhale, rise up. Slide that left knee back a little bit, make some space for the hips. Inhale, arms float up, sweep them overhead, reach long through your fingertips. As you exhale, hinge at your hips and reach forward. Thunderbolt, right? Reach nice and long. Find that length through the spine. Find that length all the way through the fingertips. Nice long neck here. And then inhale, arms up. And then reach for the left wrist. Take a little dip to the right. And reverse, reach for the right wrist. Take a little dip to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to the floor. And slide your way back into a plank pose. Press into your heels, reach long through the crown of your head. Take Take a full breath in, take a full breath out. As you exhale, lower all the way to the floor, to your mat. And then maybe bringing your forearms to the floor and lifting your chest and head, making your way into a Sphinx pose. Feel your elbows pull back, feel your legs active, feel your belly hug in, lifting away from the floor. As you exhale, begin to let it go. And press your way back into downward facing dog, right? Lifting your tail and extending the left leg long. Press into that heel, look forward, sweep the left foot forward between the hands, and then lower the right knee to your mat. Hug the right hip forward, pull the left hip back, that squeeze together, just like that block earlier. As you inhale, arms float up. Relax the shoulders, take a breath, exhale, hinge at your hips, reach forward, find that thunderbolt again, reaching nice and long. Find your breath. Inhale, arms up, exhale, take a little dip to the left, reaching for the right wrist. Inhale, reach for the left wrist, take a dip to the right. Inhale, back to center, exhale, hands to the floor. And step your way back into a plank pose. Press into the heels, reach long, find all that length again. Belly hugs in. And as you find your next breath, hips lift, send them up and back into downward facing dog. Take a twist, right? Extend that right leg. Maybe bend the knee, twist the hips, stacking them open. Go ahead and release the right foot to the floor. And then the same on the opposite side. So then reaching that left leg long, pressing into the heel, maybe bending the knee, maybe a straight-legged twist, your choice. Exhale, foot back down to the floor, to the mat. Nice big stretch here, reaching the hips, pressing them up and away. And then looking forward, walk forward, step forward, hop forward. Make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway, exhale, let it go. And then press into your feet, rise all the way to stand, arms float up, exhale, hands through to your heart. All right, you'll stay right where you are. I'm going to turn and face you. And we'll just come into a tree pose, right? So pressing into the left foot, draw that right knee forward, swing it to the side, open the hips, and plant the left foot. Maybe bringing the heel to the left ankle, maybe bringing the right sole of the right foot to the calf or even to the thigh. Press the leg into the foot into the leg. That standing leg is strong. Feel the left thigh pull back. Inhale, arms sweep up. Again, reaching overhead, maybe coming into How Wonderful Mudra, drawing the elbows down, spreading the fingers wide. Inhale up, knee forward. Exhale, release. Hands to the heart, foot to the floor. Opposite side, rooting into the right foot. Inhale that left knee forward. Again, swinging it wide and open before landing it anywhere on the right leg except for the knee. Right? Find that intention, right? Bugs. Find the intention. As you inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, How Wonderful Mudra. Shoulder blades draw together, chest open. Spread the fingers wide. Gaze down and forward for steadiness. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Foot and hands to the heart. As you inhale, arms sweep up and overhead. As you exhale, hinge at your hips. Bow forward, inhale halfway, long, flat back, exhale, let it go. And then just beginning to step your left foot to the back of your mat. As you inhale, spin your left heel to the earth. Inhale, rise up, arms float wide, warrior two. Settling into the bend of the right knee, open that right knee wide to the pinky toe side of your foot. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and keep those arms engaged. Right? Soft gaze here. Relax your jaw, relax your eyes. And then straightening into the right leg, press the right hand forward, tip your way into triangle. Maybe you'll reach for your block here, bringing your left hand to your left hip and then sweeping it up and overhead. Feel the shoulder blades come together again. You can look down to your chest, down to the big toe, and then let the gaze open wide. Full breath in, full breath out. Exhale, hand to the floor, hand to your mat, and step your way back into a plank pose. Strong core. As you exhale, lower all the way to your belly, knees, chest, chin, or one long line. As you inhale, maybe you'll find a Sphinx pose, maybe hands at either side of your chest, lifting up, finding a cobra pose, finding that stretch along the belly, that stretch along the back. Exhale, release. And then pressing your way back into downward facing dog. Extend the left leg long behind you. Take a breath, look forward, step forward, left foot forward. Spin the right heel to the earth this time. Warrior two again, floating the arms wide. Settle into the bend of the left knee. Draw the right thigh back. Soft shoulders. Full inhale, full exhale. Take another breath. And then straightening into the left leg, go ahead and press the left hand forward. Find all that length, kind of sashaying that right hip back. And as you exhale, tip your way into triangle once again. This time the right arm reaches up for the sky. Shoulder blades draw together. You can adjust that block, right? The highest, the middle, the lowest. No, none at all even, right? Letting your fingertips just kind of float over the floor maybe. Not collapsing here, but really maintaining that openness. Look to the floor, release your hands to the floor, pick the back heel up and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, release and let go. Inhale, rise to stand, arms float up. Exhale. Taking a crescent stretch, reach for the right wrist, dip to the left. Inhale to center and reverse. Reach for the left wrist and dip to the right. Inhale to center, exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward. As you inhale, lift and reach halfway. Shift your weight into your heels. Draw your belly in. Inhale with a big bend in the knees. Find that chair pose, Utkatasana. Extending the arms forward. Maybe taking the arms wide if your shoulders are bothering you today. Keep the belly hugging in, and as you find your breath, maybe you'll lower a little deeper. Just noticing that you can still see your toes down there as you look down. Maybe you'll lower a little deeper. As you exhale, fingertips to the floor, hips to the sky. Inhale halfway, and exhale, release. With your fingers on the floor, your right foot steps to the back of your mat. Spin the right heel to the earth, rise up, warrior two again, arms float wide. Letting the arms reach to the front and back of your mat. Again, relaxing the shoulders. Opening that left knee out wide to the left pinky toe side of your foot. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. As you exhale, release, cartwheel your hands to the floor, lift your back heel, and as you inhale, rise up, a high lunge, arms float overhead. Reach through the fingertips. And again, imagine like you're reach through your fingertips, hinge at your hips, bow forward, reach forward, finding that thunderbolt again. Inhale, arms float overhead. Lift that back thigh. Straighten the leg. And maybe reach for your block again. This time just kind of looking for a revolved triangle. So bring the block to the inside of the left foot, right hand on the block, maybe left thumb in the left hip crease, stacking the shoulders. Inhale, sweep the left arm overhead. Exhale, hand to the floor. And step your way back into a plank pose. You can always find a child's pose here instead. Otherwise, nice strong core as you exhale, lower all the way to the floor, to the mat. As you inhale, find your version of a back bend, a cobra pose, up dog, sphinx pose even. And then send your hips up and back. Take a breath, full breath in, a full breath out. Extend the right leg long. Look forward, step forward with the right foot. This time the left heel spins to the floor. And again, rising up, warrior two, floating your arms wide. Soft gaze here, full breath, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Keeping that nice big bend in the front knee. And cartwheeling your hands to your mat. As you inhale, rise up, finding a high lunge. Right? Lifting into that back thigh. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, reaching forward, thunderbolt. Keeping a nice long spine, keeping that back thigh lifted. Hands to the floor. Reach for that block. Inhale, arms up. And then straighten into the front leg, hinging forward, reaching forward again. This time, bringing the left hand to the block to the inside of the right foot. Left thumb to the left hip crease, shoulders draw open, sweeping the right arm overhead, looking for that revolved triangle again. Shoulder blades draw together. That lifted hand is super active. Spread your fingers wide. Imagine pressing into someone's hand standing over you, opening the chest. Keep the back thigh lifted. As you exhale, release, hands to the floor. And then looking forward, step forward, back into a forward fold. As you inhale, lift halfway, long, flat back. Exhale, let go. Press into your feet, arms float up. Elbows draw down, how wonderful mudra. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hinge at the hips, bow forward. Let your head be heavy. As you shift your weight into your heels, inhale, chair pose again. Letting again the arms come forward, drawing the belly in. Maybe sinking a little deeper, maybe lifting the heels here. Take a breath, full breath in, full deep breath out. Exhale, hands to the floor with the heels lifted. Slowly start to straighten into the legs, letting the back of the legs stretch and then releasing the heels to the floor. Inhale halfway, exhale, release. Inhale all the way to stand. Exhale, hands through to your heart. And then reaching for that block, go ahead and bring the block to the outside of the right foot. And take your arms wide. Cross the right arm over the left. So coming to eagle arms, if your arms don't easily cross, just leave your hands rest on your shoulders. And then take that left foot across the right knee. Right? Maybe bringing the foot onto that block again. And begin to settle in back into chair pose, coming into eagle pose, right? Letting your seat get a little heavy like a chair pose, right? Hug the thighs together like you're hugging into that block again. Lift the elbows any amount. You can kick that block away, keep those toes active. As you inhale, rise up. As you exhale, release. Arms float up. Hands release to the heart. Then take the block to the opposite side here, to the outside of the left foot. And this time you'll recross your arms, the left arm over the right. Again, it's okay just to reach for shoulders here. Otherwise, reach for the backs of your hands or the palms of your hands. And with the right leg over the left, thighs crossing and hugging in. Go ahead and release into eagle pose, Garudasana. Letting the seat get a little heavy, the thighs hug together. Lift the elbows. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, rise up. Arms float overhead. Exhale, hands through to your heart. Hinge at your hips, bow forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. And this time, as you find your inhale, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, hands through to your heart. And then drawing that left knee forward as you exhale, step the left foot to the back of your mat. Get steady. Settle into the bend of the right knee. And then inhale, arms up. Kind of looking here just for a lunge, right? And then straightening into that left leg, reaching forward, that thunderbolt action again, hugging the thighs in toward one another, squaring the hips up, maybe reaching for a block, looking for a pyramid or a runner's stretch. As you inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine, reaching the crown of your head forward. As you exhale, bow a little deeper. Nice long spine here. Exhale, release. As you inhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Draw the right knee forward, take a breath. Exhale, send it all the way to the back of your mat. Find that steadiness, hug to the midline. Like you're hugging that block between your thighs again, hugging the right hip forward, pulling the left hip back, settling into the bend of the left knee. And then inhale, arms up. Straighten into that front knee. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, reach nice and long. And then reach for the block, right? Just looking for, again, that nice big runner's stretch. If you don't find that stretch enough here, right, you can always slip the block underneath the toes, right? Peel the toes up and slide the block underneath if you're looking for a little bit more stretch in the calf and hamstring. As you inhale, think about getting long. As you exhale, think about letting go. And into that front knee, look forward, step forward, forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, release. Inhale to stand, arms reach, float them up, throw them overhead. Exhale, hands all the way through to your heart. Draw that right knee forward again. As you exhale, step the right foot back for warrior three. So keeping that foot lifted, Right, see if you can do better than me. Draw that right hip down, squaring the hips up to the floor. You can take your hands behind you. You can leave them at your heart. You can extend them forward, but feel that heel press away. Feel that right hip draw to the floor and reach long. As you exhale, step back. High lunge again, arms float up. Lifting the thigh, take a full breath. As you exhale, release, hands to the floor. And, I can't tell what I'm doing. Come all the way down, right? Coming into a plank pose. It looks like maybe a cobra pose, an up dog. Make your way back into downward facing dog. And then look forward, step forward into a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Get steady on the right foot. Draw the left knee forward. And as you exhale with control, begin to step into that warrior three, right? Hinge at the hips, let everything get long. Reach that, drawing that left hip down, right? Pressing into the left heel, hands to your heart. Maybe reaching your hands behind you, or maybe even sweeping them forward in the fullest expression of the pose. Find length in both directions, from the fingertips all the way through the heel. As you exhale again with control, or maybe not so much, step back into a high lunge, arms float up and overhead. As you exhale, release, hands to the floor, and step your way into downward facing dog, hips lift up and back. You can vinyasa through here. You can make your way into a child's pose here. Your choice. As you find yourself maybe in a child's pose, begin to release, and then make your way up and into a seat. And from that seat, make your way onto your back. And in your back, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice good hug here. And let your knees fall over your hips. And release your feet to the floor. And cross your right ankle over your left knee. And hug your knee into your chest. Maybe lifting that other foot up off the floor. And then taking a twist here, releasing the right foot to the outside of the left side of you. Maybe reaching for the right ankle with the left hand. I'm going to be honest, I'm flying totally blind here. I cannot see what I'm doing as I record this. So take a breath and enjoy that twist. your way back to center and cross your legs. And then recross the opposite direction. So just kind of pressing the thighs up and away, and then maybe coming into Sukhi Rendrasana. So kind of reaching to hug underneath the thigh or over top of the thigh. Full breath in, full deep breath out. And then reversing the twist, so kind of letting the legs fall to one side, letting that left foot fall to the right, maybe reaching for the left ankle with the right hand and finding a twist here. You can almost imagine that that right knee presses away from you as you look for that nice stretch through the outside. The left knee presses away from you as you feel that stretch along the left side of the hip. And one more breath here. Inhale your way back to center. And hug your knees into your chest. Maybe reaching for the feet, maybe finding a happy baby for yourself. And then maybe reaching for the block and slipping it underneath your sacrum, right? You can extend your legs up and overhead here, right? Maybe so if you're going to turn me off as right now and not going to stick around for a Shavasana, maybe that's the way to go. Otherwise, maybe you'll slide the block underneath your sacrum and extend your legs long toward the outer corners, the corners of your mat, right? The edges of your mat. You can adjust the block to whatever height works best for you. And just let your hips get heavy here, your heels get heavy, your shoulders get heavy. Take a full breath in and a full deep breath out. And then pressing up, maybe lifting that block out from underneath you. So maybe you're going to stay here for a few more minutes. You'll turn off this recording, right, and settle into your Shavasana. So just find a little bit of ease. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. With love, with gratitude. Namaste.